Alright, folks, it's Mr. Max again. I would like to show you guys hail damage, how I approach the hail damage, how I take care of the hail, the little things. Now this is a hood. It's from a F-150. I did that a couple, maybe more than 2 months now. But I can record while I was doing this job because it's hard to record while you're working. So I want to demonstrate on the hood how I go about doing the dents. Now there are dents on the roof, and since it's a pickup truck, then you won't have dents on. There was no trunk, but the tailgate had a few dents from whatever ice hit them. So there are a couple little dents on the tailgate, but the sides on the doors and the fender had dents. So those parts, it was not necessary to replace those parts. The hood is replaceable very easy, so I just replaced that. All right, because it's too many dents, and to do all that bundle work on it, it's a lot. But the roof is another part that you won't replace the roof for those dents that were on it. So I had to fix those dents. So, and the way I did that, I figure I'll use the hood to demonstrate that. So there are a couple ways how I do this. I would, since these are little dents, you know, so I'm gonna sand here. I could either use the DA to sand the area, this whole section, because you're seeing a bunch of little things here. I could do that with the DA. I'll put 80 grit on it and give it a little, give it a sand. Now where the dents are, the sandpaper may not hit those, so that those you would do by hand. And you don't want to do too much with the DA on the hood, because this creates heat as it moves. It spins. It creates heat, and there are some I forgot what that is called. At the bottom of the hood, there's some rubber. I might have to show that. It will. If you're gonna sand the bundle with a machine, or let's say the DA, it will become wavy. And the reason why it will become wavy, from my experience from the past, is because of these things here on the, let me show you guys that. All right, so you see these things here? This cushion, actually it's to, I guess it reduces noise, but it affects what you do on the outside up there. So when you are sanding a hood, even today's, the doors are not that, the steel is not so thick like it used to be, so it's kind of tricky to work on most panels today, you know. So this is one thing that will cause problems when with using a sander on the surface. So panels like this, you're gonna have to sand by hand, because the only place you would use a sander is, like, for instance, where the like this area is firm, you know. So you could use your DA on this, but once it comes a little bit to the middle, where you have those what they call those, whatever it is, those things will create problems up here as you're using a sander. It's not gonna be a smooth finish. You're gonna have some waves. What I used to do back then on doors, not the hood, I would knock those things out. when I do a door, I'll remove the door panel and go inside and knock those rubber pieces out. Get them out of the way because they affect the result on the outside, what you want to achieve. So I'm going to sand here. I have 180 grit on the DA. I'll just give it a quick scuff. Actually, I could do it by hand instead of the sander because the sander, anyway, I'll do that so I could get this thing moving quick. All right, so let me put the 80 on that, on the DA, and I'll show you guys what I do. All right, so let me do this. You could see some areas where the sandpaper won't reach, so I'm going to do this by hand with 80 grit. Right. I have 80 grit here. Make sure you go inside those. I gotta make sure that I get into those areas where where those things are. Do a little more. So here we have it. So I sanded that. So I'm gonna put the Bondo in the all those little things that I see. I'm gonna put a tin coat on all of them. Right. A body filler that I bought specifically for this purpose to demonstrate on panels how I do my sanding and how I apply the Bondo. So I don't have a lot, but I'm gonna make it happen with this little bit that I have here. The body filler that I use is the 3M. That I use is 3M 1131. You know, so and it's. You could sand very easily. It doesn't stick to the paper, so it's really good. But you pay a lot more money for this body filler. I think it's about $60 a gallon now. So let me use this cheaper body filler to show you guys what I do for this. Okay, you put your hardener. Let me see, I'm not gonna mix all of it. I'll mix this amount first. Making sure everything is mixed properly. Okay, so I'm gonna go on this now. So there is one little thing here, so I'm gonna apply a little bit of that. This is the straight side. Just a little bit, so it's already going in that little thing. And then I have one here. That's one. We have one here. So you see, the Bondo is not going on thick. The thin coat, so you're gonna have less work sanding this. Okay, I can do it like this. Okay. So let's see, there is one here. And there are a few here. Okay, so now you let this dry, and then you put another coat. Had a little extra Bondo out, but when I looked at the area that I was going to apply this to, I noticed it probably was a little too much. So now I'm gonna, so if I had to mix everything I took out of the can, I would have to throw away more than this. It would have been this plus what you see here. Alright, so you gotta watch what you're doing. Okay, so now let's see here. So I'm gonna put another thin coat. You see, I go around like that. So, you know, so that's how I do it. I've been doing this for so many years. So, okay, so I'll apply these areas again. Alright. So you see how I'm holding the blade? So wherever there are dents, you could tell, you could see that there was two little dings here. All right. One here. And this one here, I could go over the whole thing like this. All you're seeing here, there is not a lot of body filler that's being used right now. I gotta fill this one in. Okay, this one I didn't touch because then I'm going to put a thin coat over the whole surface here. Alright, so I fill in most of the major things, and the little one's going to be filled when I do a nice smooth coat. So I'll show you how I'll apply that. So something like this, you could finish within a day. You know, if you have on a hut, well, for instance, if you had to repair the hut, it could be done within a day. You could get this solved, fix all the dings on this hood. You know. gotta make sure your surface is clean. No hard spots. I mess up here. Anyway, that's okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I decided to use my 3M Bondo because this thing is not gonna give me well, it's okay. I use it to fill the holes, the dings, and then this I'm gonna use this to give me a nice smooth finish that I could sand very easily. Alright, so see how I apply that with my magic tool. Alright, so I'm gonna do this now. I could do the work like apply my Bondo and come down like that, or I could do it this way, going all the way across. Let's see, I'm gonna do it like this. See, I put a nice wide area, and then look at the thumb, the fingers, and what I'm doing. So a thin coat over the whole. Okay. So now you don't go right next to you. So you do this. The trick for doing this is getting a hold of how to use this tool here. Okay, I don't have enough to do this area, so I'll just use some over here where not much is needed. Okay, that's left, it's already drying. It's already drying on me, so okay, let's start mixing another here, and then I'll come between here now. All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So so far, if you notice, it's not a lot of Bondo going on that hood, so it won't take a lot to sand that. Very easy. Yeah, the weather is very hot today. I started doing this thing back in 1976. I was an apprentice then. And most of the teachers, they wanted me as the helper. I don't know what they saw in me back then, but I was a favorite. Everybody wanted me on their team. Okay, so let me apply this now. So let me put this here. So I'm gonna come here now. See? So you just hold this tool and then you just go across. You apply a little bit of pressure because this body fill is so easy to work with. The other one is, I'm noticing I mixed too much Bondo. Okay, so now you go back right in the middle here. Alright? And then you will get everything looking a little even. Okay, I gotta go around here a little bit. Okay, so now I have leftovers, which is not, I don't like this, but let's see where I could put it. I'll put it here. So you see when there is something hard in the Bondo, and when you're putting it on, applying it, you get lines. But I was able, then when you see a line appear, then you go back over it, and sometimes it may go away. So you see, so when I mix the next portion, I'm gonna come between here, and then go between here. Then everything is, you have one thin coat over the whole section here. Then actually I could let it dry and then start sand. I didn't use not even a quarter of a gallon of Bondo on this. So all the dents that I had on the doors of that car, of this car when I was doing the repair, I didn't replace the door. There was no need to replace the door. So I fixed them, and so I did the same procedure as what I'm showing you guys now. You don't go all the way down to the metal to do that. You're creating unnecessary work. Okay, so I need for that. Sometimes you're going to have a little extra, but you don't want to have too much that you have to throw away. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, I'll put this here. And I'm gonna go in between here. So you see my hand movement here. It's very smooth. Okay. Now I'm gonna go here. Between here, you can see where. So this one is low right now, so I'm gonna fill that in. So you see how this looks now? This do a little thing here. Alright, this one here, do a little one here. Clean that, clean this. So actually, yeah, that one I can't touch because right here is soft, so I can't go. I don't want to mess with it. That's easy to it. So this one is done actually. I could let it dry, and then I'll start sand. I'm gonna sand by hand. The straight line sander, or the what's it called? The orbital long sander. But I won't use that. Like I said, that those things on the bottom, they will reflect the outcome on the top. So the best way to do this here is by hand. And using this body filler, you can't go wrong with that. It cuts very easy. I have this car here. I was working on this yesterday. So there are a few things, and I left it because since I'm doing the hail damage hood, this car, there are two bins here. It will look like the same way a hail damage looks like. So there is a dent here. I'm going to mark it. And there is another one here. Okay. Now this one is already close to do the work, so I don't want to touch the fender, but for color matching I might have to touch it. But anyway, so there is a little thing here. So this dent here is so small. I'm not gonna, yeah, the dent is so small. I'm not gonna go all the way down to the metal to do this repair. I'll just do a little stuff. This is 180 I have here. Paper was just filled. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so that's 180. I mean, something like this, I could use 320 or 600. But anyway, so let me wipe this down. And I just put a little bit of Bondo there. And you could either wet sand with water, or you could dry sand. But I think something like this, I would rather wet sand it. And the reason why I would wet sand is the scratches from the sandpaper, that it doesn't, anyway, the Bondo that I'm going to put here will be a very thin to fill the little dent in. So it won't be much, so you could either sand it with a 600 grit with water, so you don't have much scratches around the area. Alright? Alright, so I'm gonna mix a little bit for that. Put a little hardener, because that's gonna be. Alright, so that one I could mix it on this thing. I don't have to go on the board. You know, for little things like this, then I just do it like this. Making sure that it's, so I do this, so I mix, you know, that's what's happening here. Okay, so let me put it on now. That's all it needs, one coat. dirt in there. All right, that's good enough. So that one, I could either sand it with water, but over here I'll have to sand dry because the steel is exposed over here. The steel is exposed, so wherever there is steel, I won't use water because the body filler absorbs water. So if it absorbs water down to the steel, that will be a disaster. It's going to create rust. All right. Okay. So it's nice and smooth, not wavy. Alright, so now I have it's dried, so I'm gonna sand. I'm gonna start with one. I'll start with 80 grit dry. Okay, so let me put my mask on. And what I'm gonna do now is this body filler, usually on other body bundles, the top coat, it sticks to the paper. So I'm gonna just pass this a little bit over the area. Okay. You see that? So that's what I'll switch to the next side. Okay, now I'm gonna start with this. So this is the rubber, it's a rubber block. I could either use this. This is a wooden block that I made. This is excellent for flat surfaces. And this is a nice flat surface that I could use this with. This one is very light. I use this for curvy areas, you know, to sand curves. But I also use this on flat surfaces. So I could start with either one. Or I even have this, but I didn't use this for such a long time. So I use this sometimes. And this will be good for areas like this, but I have 40 grit on this and I don't want to use 40 here. Okay, so I'm using 80. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this. All right. So when you look at the time that I'm starting this, let's see what time it is now. It's 2:15. All right, 2:15. And let's see what time, how long it's gonna take me to do the sanding on this section here. I don't think it will take me an hour, but let's see. It's 2:15. I have this here to help stabilize the hood. Oh, let me put a battery on it because it needs to be. switch to my wooden block. And what I'm doing, I'm not applying too much pressure on the hood, because you know the hood, you press, it sinks. So I'm just slightly putting a little bit of pressure so it could sand, it could cut the body sand. So you see, this bondo is very easy. So now I did enough cutting here, so I'm gonna go to 180 grit. Alright, so I was using 80 just to cut the bondo down a little bit. So I'm gonna switch to 180 grit. Let me go get that paper. Okay, so I'm using 180 grit with my wooden sand block. Okay. me switch to this. You see this area is a little round, so I'm using this instead, and it could curve a little bit too. So we're almost done here. Let's see. Oh. So on the edge, I gotta use this. So that's done. Nice and smooth. Alright. Let me blow this out and show you guys. Let me do here a little bit. You gotta make sure you see that. You go a little bit with that. As I go there is a ding here, but I'm not doing all that. So I'm just focusing on the surface. But there is a little issue here. Just gotta tap in, but I'm gonna worry with this right now. I just want to show the top with the ding. Okay. So it's pretty much there. This is all done. So, and if you could see, there is not a lot of Bondo on the hood. You could already see some of the first Bondo that I applied in the little dense, you could start to see that. Let me blow this off so you will be able to see it better. Alright, so it's, I'm done. This is good already. And when I look at the time, it was it's 2:32 at the moment. 2:32. I started sanding at 2:15, so 2:32. How long is that?
It's
about 17 minutes. Yeah, 17 minutes. So you see, it's not really hard. And the key thing for that, the magic tool. That is the key thing. Without this, you're gonna have to apply the Bondo with the spreader, and it's hard to control that, to get a nice smooth, and it's going to be thicker, so you're going to have to do a lot more sanding, you know, with the spreader. So this is the magic tool that gives you the result of what I just did. You don't put a lot of Bondo, you don't waste too much of your material to get the result. Alright, so if you, let me show you, so you could see, you know, how smooth it is. That's a 180 grit sand marks you have here now. It's nice and smooth. So once I prime that, put 3 coats of primer on it, and then put it out in the sun to dry, so it could shrink, and so you could get the best possible paint work. So that's it, folks, for this one here. So now you guys have an idea how it goes with how I do hail damage. This is a way that I approach to take care of that. Alright, so now I have this one that I said over there that I'm gonna sand with water. I'm gonna get the water and show you the process, how I do it. I'm ready. I have some soap in this water. So I'm gonna do this with I'll wet sand this. This is 400 grit. Alright, this is an old piece I had there. This one is a good side. So I'm gonna start off with the broken up side already, which already was used for previous stuff, but this one was never used, so I don't throw my papers away, you know, until I know all sides are used. So this is what you could do, you know, instead of making this thing into a big project. It's so simple to do, but the thing is, this body filler that I use is what's making it possible for me to let me get this wooden block. It's not that soft, it's nice and firm, but you know, I could go to this, my wooden block. So I'm gonna put the good piece, the good side on. do this now. Alright, so this is pretty much it. Everything feels nice. So you sand it down to this. So wherever the dent was, the bundle is in there. So that's good enough. So instead of going all the way down to the metal and create a lot more work, all you need is just stuff that thing, put a little body filler, sand, done. Come on to this one. I could start off with 180 grit, but I don't want to use that because it's going to create too much scratches. So I'll use the 400 instead. Alright. 400 instead. Yeah. So you see, not a whole lot of time is going to do this thing. Very easy. And like I said, I'm using the water because I didn't go all the way down to steel. So that's good. So you know when to stop as you're doing it. You know. So that's good. So the rest is primer. Primer and wet sand again for painting. So I did so that's done. So this one I covered. So this one here I'm gonna sand dry. I won't use water for this one. So I'm gonna deal with that tomorrow. I will sand that tomorrow, and so everything is good. So that's it, folks. So we see. So this one is ready to prime here. I mean, there are a few dings on the side, but now I'm not worried with that. Just wanted to demonstrate how I do the hail damage. And this is how I approach the hail damage dents. All right, so that's it, folks. So the primer, I'm not gonna waste my primer on this. You know, I was supposed to throw this hood away, but then I said, hey, this might be, I might have to keep it so I could show this, make this video for my viewers, my diehard viewers, Mr. Max diehard viewers. All right, so stay tuned. There is a lot more to come. All right, so subscribe, press the bell, one thumbs up. You know, I keep forgetting that part. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Thank you for watching.